Well, back to Kingdom Cast. It's your host, Super Channel Chuck. We back at it with another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all your social media platforms. Oh man, just when things were looking so great coming out the bye, and then we still haven't learned a doggone thing in regards to the second half. We suffered a tough loss to the Eagles, 21-17. We was up 17-7 at the half. Third game in a row, we have not scored one single point. That's bad. That's extremely bad. Unacceptable. And so that leads us to being like the lowest scoring team in the NFL in the second halves. Awful. Just awful. But I mean, I'll give some credit to the Eagles, man. You know, they hung up, they hung around, they stayed the course, and they found a way to get it done. They made plays to get it done in the end. So before we get to that, man, Tell the Truth is on with us, CJ and DG. And we got my guy Boogie's on the bottom right. Unfortunately, Country's not here. I know everybody was anticipating him to be on this episode, you know, because we still got to fix it. We still got to fix it. But anyway, let's go and get to the recap, man. 21-17 loss. We led in every single stat category except the turnover margin. So let's go and get to it, man. CJ, start with you, man. Give us your thoughts on what happened last night.
Like you said, bro, pure domination for like 2.5 quarters. Was killing them in the run game. Pacheco was averaging 6 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry. Defense got multiple turnovers, getting stops, three and outs off the field, moving the ball up and down the field whenever we wanted to. But for some reason, when that middle of the third quarter came, it just everything just went opposite, man. It's just like you said, turnovers is the biggest margin of any stat. Like you can win the passing, rushing yards, and time of possession. You can kill all those, but if you lose that turnover battle, that's the biggest one that holds the most weight. So it's just like Trav said in the post game. We literally there's nothing they did that lost us that game. We lost it ourselves. Like we win that game easily if we score 24 points. Now I said before the game, the final score would have been around 24-21. So it was 21-17 if we scored that touchdown before the Trav fumble or before the MBS drop. It's 24-21. So everything was in front of us. We just got to make the plays, bro.
All right, DG, let's get your thoughts on it.
It's not that we lost, bro. Like, it's the way we lost. You know, like the way you lost last night was just unfucking acceptable. I'm sorry. That's the only way I can put it. I'm sorry for cursing to the crowd or whatever. Like, it's unacceptable, man. You put on a defensive masterclass in the first half and literally dominated on both sides on the trenches or whatever. We ran the ball very well. There was a lot of stuff that I seen, especially in the first half, especially play calling wise, that I kind of hadn't seen this year or whatever, you know. So it looked like the playbook opened up a little bit. It looked like we was trying some different things, ran the ball very well. The defense, the blitz was getting home almost every snap. We had them in third and longs all the time. You know, Jalen looked terrible. Yeah, like you were cooking, you know. And I kind of felt like if you were able to get to 24 in that game, it was over. You know, like, and you just couldn't do that. Like, for some reason, second half you come out and I don't know. You just like you implode. You know. And it's only so many times you can ask this defense to go out there and make a stop and get the ball back or whatever. And they did it multiple times in the second half too. You know, but you can't continue to as an offense to try to be something that you're not anymore. You know, you're not that explosive down the field offense anymore. You can't do that anymore. Until they want to commit to that and realize that they're not that no more, they're gonna lose.
Yeah. All right, Bug, it's on you, man.
Man.
I feel you, D, man. I agree, bro. But
Well,
obligations, unfortunately.
first of all, Country duck smoke respectfully. Country all of a sudden had something to do. He know his ass was supposed to be here. Mary J. Blige, Floyd, yeah, he's all that. Because we definitely got to have a conversation. It don't matter if we talk now or later. It don't try to come on here after we beat the Raiders and start talking. No. We got to have a conversation with Country. But yeah, that we should have just had that, man. I feel like that was the first game this season that you've been begging for him to run the ball. They actually gave Pacheco a good amount of carries. Like they still was using Tony like a running back, but they got him more involved. Like you said, the first half was cool, man. It was cool, but for us to come off the bye and still play like that in the second half is just defense, like you said, did everything they were supposed to. Chris Jones had 3. Man, we got Chris Jones out here getting 3 sacks, and we can't close the deal, man. Like, and of course, y'all know what angle I gotta go. The fucking receivers suck, man. Are we gonna stop this shit?
Yeah.
Please? We gotta tell the truth on here. Are y'all gonna do that?
Hey,
They are who they are.
they are who they are right
They
now.
are who they are, bro.
Like, they're not playing well, so I can't disagree with you. Man.
They are not that talented. I'm gonna ask y'all this same question I asked 2-3 weeks ago. Is this offense good enough to win the Super Bowl? Do y'all think, as it is right now, how it's constructed?
I think if they're willing to commit to being more ball control, yes.
If you just don't turn the ball over, you win the game. Like nothing like the defensive from a defensive perspective that Philly did confused us. We moved the ball when it was man coverage. We ran the ball when we had light boxes. We made plays down the field when we had to. Trav was getting open. Outside of the unnecessary, like you said, drops that we had. And like obviously drops are gonna happen, but it's like the amount of them and like the timing of them. Like the drop, obviously, when MVS had a touchdown, the Justin Watson drop on third down, the Trav fumble. Like it's the timing of those bad plays. If those don't happen, and we, like you said, we scored 24 points. We're not having this conversation. We had 3 chances. We were in the red zone. We didn't come away with points. I don't know what more you want them to do, bro. We're getting down there. There's never been a problem between them 20s. It's that 20 section in the red zone where we start losing our minds.
They haven't had an issue with moving the ball.
That's never been an issue with us. That's why I'm not tripping on the offense. We move. It's just when we get into them 20s, bro, all of a sudden we just turn the ball over and do stupid shit.
Chuck, before you get into what you saw, I just seen the comment, but this is so damn crazy that this whole year we've been talking about after the bye, what the receivers was going to do. Receiver rights was getting better. We thought coming after the bye, we just going to really see him get unleashed, right? And then for Watson to have 12 targets in the game.
That's crazy.
There should never be an NFL game where Justin Watson is getting 12 targets, bro.
That's nasty.
12?
That's nasty.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I got the floor now. Yeah, to your point, Boogie, about Justin Watson. He only had 10-plus targets in a game only one other time in his career, and that was in 2019.
Wasn't Mike Evans and Godwin hurt or something that year?
Yeah. I think one of them was hurt.
Yeah.
So he had no choice but to get those reps. And, yeah, you see that he's not accustomed to having that kind of work. And as you saw throughout the course of the game, he was dropping crucial passes too. So yeah, but yeah, to get to my whole soliloquy, man. I know you said that you feel like they gave Pacheco the ball enough. I still don't think they gave him the ball enough because for the life of me, at halftime, I said he had 12 carries for 66 yards. Right? Will this coaching staff continue to ride him out while we're up 10? First play, the second half, he carries the ball, get a first down. Then the rest of the game, he only gets 6 carries. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. And I see people on Twitter today, and mind you, the block button's a blessing. And I try not to block people, you know what I'm saying? I try to refrain from that. But it gets to that point where you just got to use it, bro. So, yeah, I was using it quite a bit today. But anyway, yeah, 6 carries rest of the game, unacceptable. I don't care if he gets stopped for only 1 or 2 yards on the first down. That don't mean you immediately go away from it. Like, okay, I can understand if he only gets short yards for like the first 2 downs. Okay, like on first down you get 2 yards, second down you get 1 yard. Okay, I understand. And then on third down, if we got to punt the ball, okay. Then next drive, okay, you got to mix it up with a pass a little more. I get that, but they had the number 1 rush defense, bro, and we was having success running the football.
Thanks.
Up 10 in those conditions, it's rainy, it's a little bit windy. In that situation, you got to stick to running the ball. Now, granted, yes, Justin Watson and MVS, yeah, they got to make those plays. But in the weather conditions like that, it is tougher to catch the ball. Again, I'm not excusing those guys.
We're not gonna do that though.
I'm not excusing those guys again.
Okay.
But at the same token, if you just commit to the run a little more, You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry trying to get in position to win the game, being down 21-17 all of a sudden. You would still been leading the game wire to wire. That's all I'm saying.
And you know
But
what's funny? We've been complaining about running the ball more. And what Clyde do is, but for all his flaws, for what he did coming into the game, he had 2 runs for 10 yards a pop. So he was averaging essentially 10 yards a carry off only the 2 carries he had. So when he came in the game, he was effective. Pop running the ball, he's effective. So all the running backs that had main carries were beyond effective when we wanted to run the football. 3rd and short, 4th and short. What we say before the game, Chuck, we have to convert those short yardage runs. We did it. Every time we was doing it. Pacheco converted on 3rd and 1. He converted on 4th and short. We did that. Remember that dive play I was talking about? The trap we ran the Super Bowl book? They did it last night. They did it. The exact same play. Pacheco has his hand on the dirt, reverse pivot, dive, first down. We ran the ball religiously when we wanted to last night. And for you to not stick with it, and to Chuck's point, you have to throw the ball eventually. But to that point, when you see that first drop book, I'm like, no more. We're not doing it no more. If it ain't Strav or it ain't like a wide open like design play, run the football. And if that would, like DG said, lean on the defense. The run game was working. And to go away from that, it is kind of disappointing. Not to say Jay Watson deserves his opportunities, but it's just frustrating, bro.
Bro, throwing the ball 40+ times in those
conditions
is unacceptable.
Throwing the ball 40 times with these receivers.
That's nasty.
Man.
That's nasty.
Like, come on, man.
Like 35 need to be the cap. We ain't going over that, bro.
And Boogie, to your point about Rasheed Rice, I was expecting him to get the expanded role come out the bye week. But instead, his role got a little bit reduced coming out the bye. Like, dog, why is Rasheed Rice not getting this role expanded, bro? Like,
how they going down?
Can we have one game of him getting double-digit targets?
He's never had
one game.
If there's anybody getting double-digit targets, it's him for sure.
Yeah, like understand, like Travis Kelce can't be force-fed every game. Like, in that case, Rasheed's the next option. You gotta put him in spots to be successful. And this coaching staff has done a poor job of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, granted, I'm not saying Rasheed Rice is perfect in any means. You know what I'm saying? Because there were some mistakes he made out there on the field yesterday. Like, there was like routes where he's supposed to sit in the zone earlier. He didn't do it. You know, blase. But you trusting Justin Watson with 11 targets, that's inexcusable. That is inexcusable. I can't get with that whatsoever, bro. At the end of the day, dog, I just want to get to the second half. At the end of the day, we can't keep continuing to not score a single point in the second half. If we're going to keep doing that, bro, I don't know if we're going to repeat. I just don't know, bro, because it's unfair to this defense, dog. Like you guys mentioned, Chris Jones had 3 sacks. Trent McDuffie had a hell of a game. He had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Like the only plays that Devontae Smith made, the 2 big plays that he made, those were on our safeties. One when he ran across the middle, that was on Brian Cook. The other one, that was on Mike Edwards. McDuffie and Snead did the damn thing yesterday. We held A.J. Brown to 1 catch for only 8 yards, bro.
Yeah.
The best receiver in the game, to me, right now, we held him to 8 yards, bro. Defense put out that great effort, and you guys just fell into that matter. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And I'm just like, after the game, I'm like, look, dog, I'm not going to any more regular season games, no more regular season tailgates. I'm waiting to the playoffs now. Like,
you going to the playoffs?
Yeah, bro. We won a Super Bowl last year when I went to the playoffs. I'm just like, look. I'm like, look, if I'm gonna keep coming out here and seeing 0 points in the second half, bro, that's a waste of time. You just wasting my time, bro. Like, I'm good at home.
Look like you sure? You sure you don't want to stay at home?
You sure about that?
Let us see,
yeah, I'm fine.
what's going on, real
I know
fast.
what Country said. Country said that he don't believe me. I know, but no, I'm sticking to my guns on this one, bro. I am. But that's all I got for now, man.
I seen a comment talking about this offensive line. Since while we're here, this is not the best offensive line Mahomes has had. We got to stop that too. It's not.
I'll say this. This is not the best disciplined offensive line that Mahomes has had. They, especially at the tackles, you never had to worry about the silly penalties, the false starts, none of that when Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher were here or whatever. Now I know Eric Fisher had his, his moments and stuff like that, but you didn't have them kind of just dumb penalties like that or whatever. And maybe a little bit of that is just getting new guys and trying to get that cohesion or whatever, learning snap counts, whatever. but I really feel like this is probably the most undisciplined offensive line that Mahomes has had in this era. And it's three guys. It's Jawan Taylor, it's Donovan Smith, and it's Trey Smith. Like those three guys right now aren't playing disciplined football.
Oh.
You know, and you got to hold them accountable for that. So I slightly agree with you, Boogie. I don't think they're the worst line that he's had, but I do definitely think they're the most undisciplined line he has had.
Yeah, and to your point, DG, yes. Smith and Taylor, they did not have great games yesterday. They didn't. It was poor. What's that? Williams. He had himself a nice game for the Eagles. Like he was getting through. He was breaking through their offensive line, and whether it was a tackle for a loss or a sack. Yeah, man, it was not a great performance, and too many penalties, man. Way too many penalties. Because like in the second
Especially
half,
on third down.
right? Because in the second half, I remember 2 runs Pacheco had. They was good runs, and then they was called back due to penalties, and it affected us.
Do we got any positives on offense besides Pacheco?
KT.
KT?
Yeah,
KT.
KT.
KT has some
KT
nice
definitely.
reps.
KT had a good game.
I like what they did with him on the offense.
I like what they did with Rasheed. Had a good game. They just didn't give him the ball enough.
Right.
Like we had guys that make plays. It's just you just got to give them the volume. From the offensive line standpoint, run blocking wise, they did amazing. I think we ran the ball well all night, especially in short yardage. I'm not going to give them a. I would give them probably like an A- or A grade for that part. Pass pro wise,
we did get a 3rd and short, right?
We converted mostly all of them.
Yeah.
We converted a 4th and short back to
We
back.
converted 4th and 1.
Yeah, like the run
Which
game
that
was
play
elite
design was incredible, bro.
It's the exact same one we did in the
year.
Super Bowl. The reverse
Right.
the trap, the reverse pivot trap. It works every time. So when you have this interior O line that gets downhill, it imposes your will on the defensive line and it gets them off tilt. And when you're running against a D line like that, like Book said, it gives your O line confidence. Like, all right, we can really run the ball on them. There's not really nothing they can do to stop us right now. So I would like to see us more integrate of getting under center, more play action. I think that would be more better for our offense. We don't have to throw the ball strictly out of shotgun all the time where it's easy to diagnose from a defensive standpoint. You don't have to strictly just drop back. Kind of give them those looks of, all right, they've been running the football, then get that play action where you did kind of have the defense suck in, then you can take a shot over the top. So I think that would help us happen
for 2 years, CJ.
Yeah, that would help our
2 years we've been talking about that.
And we do it in pockets. It's like Andy waits till moments when he wants to do it. He doesn't do it for like long stretches of a season, which is kind of frustrating because most of our passing game is just strictly normal drop back. It's not really a lot of play action under center wise. It's like a little when you're in the gun, you do a little mid fake or you don't fake it at all, and it's just a straight drop back. It doesn't give a threat to the defense. Like, all right, when they're in the gun, we know they're going to throw it. You got to get under center and give them that same type of pressure that you would in the run game. Look, so it just puts all the pressure on the defense when you're running the ball in the center. Because when you see that quarterback turn his head around, you don't know if he's handing it off or pulling it. And when you can do those things over and over again, it'll make your job as a defensive coordinator that much tougher. So
we did get that on the screen, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. But
Jay got one catch on the screen.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing it enough right now.
Like we just got to get Morgan to Alex Smith offense. I know people don't want to hear that, but it works. It may be boring. It may not look cute, but those type of plays where you're under center more and you see how much 12 personnel we ran in that first 2 drives, y'all, where it was like Trav and Noah going back and forth.
Yeah,
I've been screaming that all year. We finally did it. Because when you give those looks, you don't know how to do your personnel as a D coordinator. Do I want to go nickel? Do I want to go dime? Do I want 6 DBs? Do I want 3 linebackers? You don't know what to do because they're keeping those 2 tight ends on the field. And you can split one out, put them both in there. It does everything for you. So there's ways this offense ran the ball, and they ran traditionally in the first half that worked. They went away from that in the second half. We started going more 11 personnel, 10 personnel. I didn't like that. We should have stayed with 12 almost the entire game, if you ask me. Like, we should have seen Noah and Trav on the field almost the whole game.
Yeah, I definitely like when we went in motion. You know what I'm saying? Like
it gives you too many looks. You don't know how to call as a D coordinator. Do I want to put an extra DB in? Do I want to put an extra linebacker? You don't know how to play. It gives you all the confusion. That's why we should have stuck with it.
Because it exposed how undisciplined the Eagles are defensively.
We don't have the receivers to be playing 11 personnel that many snaps, bro. We should not be doing that.
That's what I was about to say. Ain't y'all all more comfortable with the 12 personnel?
Absolutely.
Over the 11? Because
absolutely,
I'm trusting Noah over damn near every receiver we got.
Facts.
No. This goes back to my point, man. Commitment. They got commitment issues right now, bro. Like they don't want to commit to just doing one thing, you know? Like if something is working, commit to that. If you're gonna be the more physical team in this game, be that. You know, you were dominating. You were dominating at the line. You know, especially on both sides of the ball, and you see the defense. We was blitzing all night. We didn't care. You know, and I asked Eagles fans today. I said, "Hey, had y'all seen that much blitz pressure this year?" They said, "Hell no." You know, but we committed to it on the defensive side. So on the offensive side, you got to make a commitment. If you're gonna run the ball and be the more physical team, do that.
Do that.
Just it's that simple. And I've been screaming this the last couple weeks. Simplify things. You're making this way too hard, way too harder than it has to be.
We'll do it after the bye week, though, DG.
Nah.
That's gone now.
Hey, bud, they did it for like 2.5 quarters. Then they just said,
Same
all right,
stuff.
go back to it.
Shit ain't funny.
Ain't learned
It was,
nothing.
it was working for 2.5 quarters. They said, all right, let's switch it up.
Ain't learned a damn thing, dog.
That's
And
crazy,
I
bro.
got a few more points to that, man. The coaching staff, we got to talk about it, man. Like
Yes.
it is clear and obvious, like to what Nate Taylor was saying last week. Matt Nagy's voice on that coaching staff does not hit at all in comparison to EB. It just does not, because even would have gotten these boys' asses. He would have. And like
I tweeted that earlier, man. Yes.
And like he mentioned, EB is not afraid to be the more physical team. When it's time to be physical and when it's necessary, EB would have made sure Pacheco would have got the ball a few more times in this game. Like this should have been a 25 touch game at least for Pacheco today, because we was on pace to get at least 200 yards rushing on this team, and we should have, and we didn't do it. We just did not do it. And also, like the wide receiver core, man. Look, I got to talk about MVS, bro. Because look,
oh shit.
I mean, I'm glad. I'm happy that he came through for us in the AFC Championship game when we needed to, because we had some injuries that game. Somebody had to step up. He stepped up. But I was never a fan of Dude in Green Bay. I'm not a fan of Dude now. I can't wait till he get up out of here. Like he got to go. Like paying this guy $11 million to make the clutch plays, he can't do it. It's not in him. It's just not. I understand. And I commend him for going on Twitter and saying that, you know, he owned up to what he did last night. He got to be better, but it wasn't just that big drop either.
No.
There was two plays where he ran the wrong route, dog. Like I remember when Patrick went deep on the sideline, he ran the wrong route then. The dude turned around early on the route for no reason.
He stopped running.
I'm like, bro,
keep running. Just keep running.
What are you doing? And then one other time, Patrick tried to hit him on like a second down throw, and he didn't run the route correctly. I think he slipped on the route or something. It's just bad, bro. Like when you pay him $11 million, that's how bad your wide receiver core is, bro.
Oh,
this is a problem.
Beach
is
has
really a
failed
problem.
that receiving position all the way. I know we all can't say nothing bad about Beach One Country on here, but come on, man. The person he signed for $11 million, no, he drafted a receiver. C-Dot on there today saying, "Can we say the B word?" I'm about there, man. Tony, you use him as a running back. It's like, damn, man, we really. It's the same shit we've been saying though. These receivers just ain't it, man. And I'm sorry to say this last thing. Just to see DeAndre Hopkins tweet that shit, you know.
I knew you was looking for that.
You know,
I was like, don't let Boogie see that
because we didn't give him that bag. Y'all know that shit, man. Y'all know it, man.
I was like, do not let Boogie see that tweet, please.
Man, bro, he gonna block him. He gonna block D-Hop.
But I feel you, dog. Because look, man, like I wouldn't have mind D-Hop in this offense. Okay, I wasn't somebody who didn't want D-Hop on his team. Like I wanted D-Hop on his team from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you know, it's like, okay, I understand why they're going this route, you know, but it hasn't worked out, man. It just hasn't worked out, and it's looking real ugly right now. It really is, bro.
You know what makes it worse? This loss and that D-Hop situation is, I feel like this would have been our easiest road to the Super Bowl out of all the runs we had. No Burrow, Buffalo not that. Baltimore is a good team, but they could fuck around and lose to an AFC North team in the playoffs. This would have been like one of our easiest roads. And when you don't go all in, when you got the chance, and you talk about draft picks next year and money,
I like
we could have won this year. Why are we thinking about 2-3 years from now?
Quinn, here's my thing with Sky, man. Look,
they always try to play both sides, bro.
Look, man.
That shit.
Look, I know it ain't looking too pretty for Sky, man, but I'm just like, it is what it is at this point, man. It is what it is at this point. Like I'm at the point where it's like I don't think Sky gonna get the opportunities like we thought he was gonna get this year, and this might just be the road, man. It might be, man.
So I feel like we had the same conversation with CJ last time. If that's
I agree, D man.
Hold on. What he say? But if that's the case, why are we continuing to give Sky all these snaps if you're not gonna throw him the ball? We already talked about this, but why? And what did D-Mac say something about the money? Man.
Yeah, he said the price tag.
That money, I know you did, Rondo. That money that we talking about is gonna end up costing us Chris Jones and it's gonna cost us D-Hop. So was it worth it?
I think at that point,
no.
They were trying to get Chris back in the building. And I think they didn't realize that they didn't take into consideration that Chris was actually gonna hold out. You know?
That's bad. GM though, right?
Maybe it takes two sides to do a deal. I could tell you all day,
bro.
Like get it done.
It's business. At the end of the day, what do you want me to do?
We don't know what the conversations were about.
Right. Like if the guy don't want to come into the building and do a deal, and you give him a deal, right, and he doesn't take it, what am I supposed to do?
As a GM, BG, you have to be prepared for both ways, though. You can't go into this saying this is the only way it's gonna work. If this, you gotta have a contingency plan.
But in order for you to make that happen, you had to clear that cap space.
And we could have did that with the Kelsey move. We could have restructured Kelsey. If that ain't Kylie on them Kingdom Cast, or I just seen D-Mac from his account. If it's not Kylie from that Kingdom Cast account, don't post none of that comment. Come outside.
It's definitely not Kylie.
That's definitely not Kylie. We don't want
I say, country, you come in here.
You know that ain't Kylie.
You don't want.
You come in here on your break,
country.
That ain't Kylie.
Country. We want country to fix it. Where is you at, man? Because I want to know if anybody else off the bandwagon. Because I got kicked off the bandwagon for saying this shit 2 weeks ago.
I honestly think like there probably were conversations to get D-Hop in the building, obviously for a decent amount of money. But like you said, when the Chris Jones stall, I don't think anybody had an idea that it would stall all the way till week 1 versus Detroit. That's like unrealistic. Like if you'd have told me halfway through training camp, maybe even preseason, maybe he comes back. But week 1 of the NFL season, I think nobody in their mind, even like Chris was thinking, yeah, I'm just not going to go to training camp not 1 week at all. That's kind of crazy. So like that's a situation where you should be prepared for that. But that was kind of the extreme. Like, all right, bro, he may hold out like a month. Like maybe like end of July, he ain't gonna hold out till September. Like you never would have thought he gonna hold out this long. And obviously he had new representation with his agent. So to everybody's point, but obviously in the MVS thing, Chuck, just so everyone knows, free agency is made to overpay guys. Stop. Like the amount of money to MVS is getting. I don't care what amount of money he was getting. This is who MVS is. He was like this in Green Bay. He ain't showing us nothing new. Just because you give him $11 million don't mean he's gonna be a better player. But y'all was saying the same thing about Justin Reed when he was missing tackles. He was the same player in Houston. He just got paid a lot of money. Free agency is meant to overpay players. Now, you hope they make your team better, but the player itself, they're not necessarily always going to be a better version of what they were before. You just hope that they're improving the position that you need from what you had last year. So from what we had before MVS got here, we had Tyreek Hill. We lost him, so now we got to replace him with high-level veterans. Were there other veterans on the market that I would have chose? Yes, there were plenty of options, but they decided to go with MVS. So we got to give it. It is what it is. And he's paid and had big moments like Chuck said, but he's here now. So it is what it is. The $11 million, is it an overpay? Absolutely, but that's normal for free agency. Everybody gets overpaid, and everybody's not worth it. You can ask any team. They always pay overpay free agents. That's the whole point. Now, you just hope they improve the position from what you had. But it's an odd situation for us because we obviously had Tyreek Hill, and we lost the ultimate receiver. Now we're trying to mismatch and try to put guys together. And there were other guys in the market. I wanted Jacoby Myers. That was me. But they decided not to. He got paid somewhere else. That's cool. But then now we have to work with what we got.
But MVS, we picked him up to always be like a number 2 receiver. And I seen Matt Lane, I'm talking about it earlier. But he's never been a good number 2 receiver, even here.
Yeah, in Green Bay, he was really a number 3. And he wasn't good at that.
That's why I don't get as upset. I'm like, bro, this is who MVS is. That's why I don't
Technically, last year he was a number 3.
Exactly.
Because I don't care about that money he getting, bro. MVS is MVS, bro.
And that leads me to like, bro, I really felt like it was either I'm with CJ. It was in free agency. If you wanted to make the move was to either go get Jacoby Myers or bring back Juju. You know,
the medical staff said no,
and the medical staff told you no. You know, So
which they were right because New England had a report during training camp, same knee issue. So you don't want to bring back a guy who's hurt.
and
We don't need
look
any more hurt receivers.
and look to what Juju has done this year.
Exactly,
You
he's been
know,
hurt. So
been hurt. You know, so
Definitely was
I mean,
better, but I agree with what y'all saying though with that though.
like I know people want to get on Veach and stuff like that, but you get put in these positions where you have to make business decisions, and business ain't easy. You know, like that's just the fact of the matter. Like, how much are you really gonna pay this guy to come in? If D-Hop really wanted to come in here and wanted to play for us, right?
God.
He would have taken whatever deal we was gonna give to him, but it didn't happen.
Dudes ain't playing for cheap contract, bro.
Especially for
money,
what he signed with Tennessee for.
Yeah, he got 13 M's to go to Tennessee. Yeah, he
Right,
wasn't.
like
Odell got
that was
15 when he was in Baltimore.
Overpaid.
Yeah, they thinking if MVS got 11, they like I'm better than him. So
right.
If he got 11, I definitely want at least 13, 15.
Absolutely.
So I ain't mad at receivers for getting their bread. Like you want your money, but at the same time, it's a decision. Like, and I know people always try to compare us to the days of like New England and guys taking cheap contracts. It's a decision to make at the end of the day. And if a player says, "Hey, I'm not willing to take a pay cut," then it is what it is. You got to move on. So the guys made a decision. They don't value the receiver position as much as they should. Obviously, I expect a big correction this summer. But for right now, they could have went overhaul and overpaid some guys and dipped into your personal bank account if they wanted to. Chose not to. That's fine. But now we here. Now you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. So how do you max? Like that's what I don't like. I love to like. We're trying to fix and talk about our mistakes we made, and I'm all good for fixing a problem. But how do we maximize what we have right now? What do we do with this group that gives us the best chance to win? Because in my opinion, there are things we can do with this group that can have us beat anybody on the football field. Because you can't tell me from a physicality standpoint we don't line up with anybody. We can run the ball on anybody, we can play defense with anybody, and we can move the ball when we choose to with the proper players in the proper positions. So how do we do that moving forward, fellas? That's the question I want to answer.
Yeah.
What do we do that gives this offense the best chance to be successful?
Go ahead, DG.
I think for this, like I said, for this offense, and I'm gonna say it over and over again, bro. You gotta simplify things. If you're gonna simplify and commitment, I'm gonna keep saying that. Run the ball when you need to run the ball. If you gotta come out every first down and run the ball, do that just to establish some kind of consistency, and then on top of that, go to your quick short passing game. It works. KT last night, third and 9 or something like that. You go right to a slant to KT and pick up the first down. Like it works. Just methodically go down the field. It doesn't have to be in 4 or 5 plays or whatever. Take your time, go down the field, run the ball. If you gotta take 3, take 3. This defense now can get you the ball back. Just it's that simple, bro.
And the simplifying also is like we've been saying all year. Stop using 10 receivers, man. Like
that too.
Stop, man. Just give us 2 or 3 weeks of the same 4. I don't care. At this point, I don't care what 4 you put out there. Obviously, it's gonna be Justin Watson, one of them. But whatever 4 you go use them 4, man. For 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Let's just get some consistency with that.
Yeah, we gotta choose between MVS and Watson. Like who's gonna be
Watson.
the stretch the field guys, bro? And I just want Watson out there. Like, but at the same time, I don't want him getting 11 targets again.
No,
ever, bro.
Oh man,
ever. And then this is the problem too with the wide receiver core too. We got him or MVS stretching the field. That's a big problem, man.
You haven't even tried it with Rasheed.
Not at all.
Y'all see what I've been saying for the last month? Stop babying Rasheed. If you telling me you drafted a dude in the second round, he can't run a go route outside the numbers, you just wasted a whole draft pick.
Yeah.
If you think Rasheed Rice is a full-time slot receiver, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. You literally don't watch football. I've seen this man run go routes in preseason. I've seen him running in camp. Stop telling me he can't run
and make
route
contested catches.
Like Jesus Christ. Like I'm not saying he has to be outside for the full-time Bugs. Can a dude run a comeback? I ain't seen Rasheed run a dig ever. Only thing I see Rasheed run is slants and bubbles. Yeah. I ain't seen Rasheed run a comeback. I ain't seen him run a post. We ain't threw him a jump ball, nothing. If you think he's not that talented, why the hell did you draft him that high? You got to give him a chance, bro. Rasheed Rice can make plays, bro. I'm not saying he's an all-world receiver. I'm not trying to gas him up. But if you're not even going to give him the opportunity to prove himself, what are we doing, bro? I would much rather throw a jump ball to Rasheed Rice than MVS right now. That's just a fact. Like, you got at least got to give a dude a chance to prove himself. Come on, man. Like, put Sky in the slot. Let Sky run those slots. Stop putting everybody in positions where they can't be themselves. Stop doing that, bro. It's very frustrating. Why are you always putting dudes to make them do more than what they have to do? Let guys be who they are. Sky's a slot receiver. Put him in the slot. Rasheed Rice can play outside, and if you don't think he can, you're lying because I've seen him do it. Let Rasheed be who he is. Let him make plays. Every time he touches the ball, it's a positive play. So for you to just stop going to him, that's negligence on you, bro.
Literally broke Darius Slay's ankle.
Well, let me call the plays, D-man. Shit, I'll call him. Let me do it.
Literally. But to your point, I want to ask y'all this question now that we on this receiver topic. How much of this is on the wide receiver coach? How much is it on Nagy, Andy Reid? Just give me like a percentage or something.
The receiver coach just got hired, bro. I'm not putting. I mean, he
I'm
got put in a
not giving
position
him
where
no
he
more,
had it's a
bro.
lose-lose for him because he's not experienced. First job, you got obviously one of the most least talented rooms in the league. So what did you expect him to do? That's why I can't yell at him, bro. He's new too. He's a youngin. This is his first receiver job. What do you expect this guy to do with one of the most least talented receiver rooms in the league? He's not going to do anything. What's he going to do? Yell at him?
And he used to be a former running back coach, right?
Exactly.
He's a former running backs coach with the worst receiving core in the NFL.
So what do you expect him to do?
To make them look like 1,000-yard receivers?
What's he going to yell at him to do?
Like,
he don't got no experience himself. So like, bro, like that's why like he's hired to do the job and he's obviously doing the best he can. I'm not going to question the man's integrity, but in the position he was put when I looked at his experience, I'm like, bro, he's an inexperienced coach in the most lackluster room we have on our roster. That's a bad combination, in my opinion.
D-Mac, what's up, my guy?
D-Mac, what's the word?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's going on, bro?
Trying to get past it, man. Trying to get past all these
37 minutes.
We drinking, Mac.
It's your turn, man. Is you gonna fix it?
Yeah, D-Mac, are you gonna fix it?
He let me call plays, bro.
My answer would be very simple. Allow your two most talented wide receivers to get the lion's share of the snaps. Allow them to act like actual wide receivers. And if Kadarius Toney dies in the process, then he dies, and it is what it is. And then you got 7 other slot receivers on the team, so just throw them out there too. It doesn't particularly matter at that point. And let Watson and MVS work in because they're your deep threats on occasional passing plays. That would be my quote unquote fix it. But there's also the secondary part of if you just stop fucking up at the wrong times, that would also help.
Yeah. And yeah, at least to my point with Travis Kelce too, man. Look, Travis Kelce, I appreciate him being a chief for as long as he has. He's done a lot of great things for his organization. But as far as this season goes, he has talked about repeatedly on New Heights about how he's been frustrated on offense, about how they not scoring in the second half. But, dog, you out here doing the same stuff last night, bro. Like, you followed the ball outside the 10-yard line. Now, granted, I mean, it wasn't a great defensive play by the Eagles defender. I mean, they get paid to make plays, too. But, Travis, you got to know, bro. They coming for that ball, man. 2 hands on it, bro.
You got 2 hands.
I know better than that. I know better than that, man.
I love Trav, but you see 3 people around you, just go down. You don't
Bro,
have to
put 2 hands on the ball. Why you got 1 hand on the football? Come on, bro. How old are we?
You're
35 years old, man.
Do this, bro. Wakanda that, John. Come on, bro. Like,
just relax, Kelsey. Just go down. You don't have to do all that, dog.
And we made this mistake last year versus the Bengals. So you did not put 2 hands on the football in the big game. Straight.
Exactly, did.
You know they're gonna punch at you. We did this all training camp. All 2 hands on the ball, bro. Simple.
Can we all agree that Tony should be the punt returner, though? We all with that?
Yeah. I mean, he's the human
Whenever he out there, he do good. Just how long he gonna stay out?
Scares the shit out of me every time he does it because I think
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he gonna kill himself when he out there.
Right? Is he gonna last? Is he gonna last?
And I keep seeing Richie James in the comments. I'm to the point where shit. What we got to lose?
Yeah, I'm at that point too. I mean, look, last year with the Giants, I mean, I think he was the NFL leader in 3rd down conversion rate in receptions whenever he was targeted. Somewhere of that nature. Richie James led the league last year in that. I mean, it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt to try him out there.
That was out of necessity, though. And guess what? Richie James was getting 70-80% of the snaps. He's not getting 70-80% of the snaps here. He'll get 10, maybe. if he's lucky.
And like, bro, like the reason they brought back Miko is because Richie was hurt. If Richie wasn't hurt, they don't do the Miko move. That's why he's there.
If you aren't going to put, because it doesn't really happen on any other team to where your wide receivers are rotating in like we are. You just have to put 2 to 4 guys and just lock them in and have them handle those snaps. Because otherwise, you're just rotating these guys in. They're not going to learn or understand what they're supposed to do. You got a bunch of guys running around with, like chickens with their head cut off because they don't know what to do in these situations. They don't have the reps. There's a certain level of rhythm when it comes to these situations. It would be like if you were having Trent and Snead consistently rotate out for, major snaps. It makes no sense. That's not how it works.
DG's dad's clowning. He clowning in the comments tonight.
He need to go to bed.
That was the pops,
He need to
man.
go to bed.
Oh, that's okay.
That's
It's
big
bad.
Pops. That's big grip.
It's bedtime, pops.
Hey, Pop, put the drink down.
Yeah,
But D-Mac, I understand to your point. We need a set group of 4 wide receivers that's gonna have the majority of snaps or be out there most of the time, if not all the time. My thing is this, bro. Like, I'm just ready to move on from MVS, bro. I just don't. I understand he's the.
We were saying that before the season. So,
I understand that, bro. But we got to move on for him.
Yeah,
I don't need to see him on the field no more. I just don't, bro.
I feel like we wouldn't see him on the field if he wasn't getting $11 million a year. Like, to me, that's the only justification. Because is he better than Justin Watson this year, vertically?
No.
I don't think it matters. I mean, neither of them.
They both have drops, but Justin Watson makes more contested catches.
Both of them are getting steps on wide receivers and then running stupid ass routes. I've legitimately never seen a wide receiver get open on the boundary and then run towards the single high safety. I've never seen that in my life.
I literally saw MVS run a corner route and he stopped running. I'm like, bro, why'd you? He really ran a corner. He's got separation and stopped running.
Corner.
I'm like, why are you stopping? Keep going. You're open. Like, he just stopped running for no reason.
I've never seen a wide receiver beat a DB and then turn and face the DB and start backpedaling.
Stop running. Just like, yeah.
I have never seen it in my life. So it doesn't particularly matter. Both of them are disappointing. Both of them are deep threats that are slow burn guys. It's fine to work them in. They should not be your primary wide receivers. You can't have Justin Watson get 11 targets. You can't have MVS get 7, 8 targets. You can't have him having these astronomical snap counts compared to guys that are talented and can actually do something with the ball in their hands, and they actually catch the ball when it's thrown to them.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. But I think we pretty much covered everything on the offense. But lastly, man, we ain't really touched on Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? For what I saw for Patrick Mahomes, man, he did a better job of trying to hang in the pocket to make plays instead of trying to bail out the pocket all the time and send plays and all that. But he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look comfortable for the most part when he tried to stick in the pocket when the rush was coming, man. And on some of those throws, he either overshot the dudes or he was a little off, man.
I personally disagree. I thought he looked perfectly comfortable.
He looked comfortable throwing that touchdown to Justin Watson.
He messed up on the red zone interception. Obviously, he left that ball short, and Byard was able to make it.
He alligator arm.
I mean, Byard bait him into that throw. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but red zone's always helmet or higher. He threw it at his chest. You chose to throw it up. Either you catch it or nobody catch it.
So, but the reality of the situation, I saw him throughout the first half. He looked completely comfortable. In the second half, what the Eagles did was simply, okay, we're going to cover zero blitz you the entire time. We're going to dare your wide receivers to beat one-on-one coverage, and you have to throw the ball deep. And that's exactly what he did. He hung back there. He was waiting it out, saw guys uncover, threw the ball deep, put it on the money, and either the wide receivers ran the fucking wrong route or they dropped the ball when it actually got to him.
I thought he did pretty cool for what he had. I thought he did good running out of the pocket instead of waiting.
He stepped up in time for sure. He stepped up, got some first downs.
Yeah, those are some of the positives. Yeah,
like he did. Obviously, it's not going to be an overall clean game from pass perspective, like you said, with the tackles we have. But when he had to step up in the pocket and make plays, like you said, either guys didn't finish the route, either he ran for a first down, or he actually made some plays and we got first downs or touchdowns. So from pass perspective, obviously he could have been better. Like the interception was terrible, but when you compound the mistakes and it's like a snowball effect. You can't have one mistake turn into 3. Because if we don't turn the ball over 3 times, we win the game. Hell, if we only turn it over twice, we win the football game. So it's obviously there's never going to be a perfect game from an offensive standpoint. You want that, but that's a good unit over there. They have good players as well, but they didn't do nothing to confuse us, Chuck, in my opinion. Nothing
with
that
them
their
in the
D coordinator did
comments.
confuse our offense. We did everything to ourselves.
No, they
Finishing routes,
simplified it.
not finishing blocks or catching the ball. Like we did that. Nothing they did.
They simplified it very clearly in the second half. It was a bunch of cover zero, which we obviously have not seen in the Mahomes era because we don't
get blitzed that much.
We normally just torch it because Mahomes is Mahomes, but they just simplified it. They said we just got to run blitz because they're running all over, so we got to completely commit to stopping the front seven. And it's just and the only two plays I could think of where Mahomes was off was the interception, and then those scramble plays on Kelsey in the third down, in which he lofted a little bit high. But even then, it's like, oh, I'm asking my quarterback to make a superhuman play, and then he doesn't make it. And it's like, okay, well, I guess, but that's one drive out of how many? So I mean, I thought he was good. And honestly, that's a little bit more of the concerning part was that he was on, and it wasn't enough because the wide receivers were just that bad.
If Mahomes doesn't throw that pick, we talking about him being the MVP.
Yeah, we win the game. That's what I'm saying. If we have one less turnover, we win the game. Simple. Trav doesn't fumble, we win the game. MVS catch, we win the game. The turnovers at the worst times, because like DG said earlier, D-Mac, we're turning the ball over in the red zone. Turnovers are always bad, but when you're giving away points and giving the ball back, you're hitting yourself twofold. So you can't do that. In this offense, we can't afford to. In years past, we could turn the ball over and still recover from our mistakes. We can't do that right now. So we can never, ever have – we can't afford to have multiple turnover games. One, you don't ever want to turn the ball over, period. But if there is going to be the one where it happens, okay, you can overcome those things. But three, we're not good enough to do that right now.
And that's ultimately where I land, having slept on it and just looking at it from a 3,000-foot view. Obviously, a lot of people are going to want to declare this team dead for one reason or the other, or just two reasons. And they're not dead. They're still one of the best teams. They're on the short list of teams that can win the Super Bowl. The reality of the situation is the margin for error is extremely thin. And so the variance of turnovers is something that is going to swing a game. If you play a clean football game, or you could play enough clean football games down the stretch here.
Yeah,
you win enough games and you're the one seed, then that's great. Then that means you only need to play 3 clean football games to win a championship. Can you do that? It's going to be a very difficult proposition because eventually you're going to play a really good team. Obviously, some of the AFC team wild cards won't be great, but eventually you're going to play somebody. Can you play a clean game in that situation? And if you don't, you're probably going to lose because, like you said, the margin of error is so thin at this point, they can't survive it otherwise. So I don't think that all of a sudden that the team is dead and that they have no shot at winning the title. It's just the variances leaves them very little room for error.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they say them Swifties is the worst group. Boy, the Chiefs lose another game, man. You ain't got to worry about them Swifties. You got to worry about Chiefs Twitter, man. They better get your shit together, man.
Can I say if y'all watch Tell the Truth, I said it might be 2 losses somewhere in here. I had us going 13-4. So I mean, I would like to think that they can win out, in which I think they can. It's very, very feasible for them. But at this point, it's come down, man. Like it comes down to the simple things. They're not doing the simple things enough, and I don't believe that.
Yeah, to make the routine plays look.
Everybody think the Chiefs. Let's calm down, Quinn. Queen, let's calm down, Queen. Let's calm down.
I don't believe that.
I don't. Even if they do get the 1 seed, they could not make the AFC Championship game.
Right.
The one seed is just a bonus, bro.
If they turn the ball over at the wrong times, which we see,
it don't matter where you play. Stop turning the ball over. Home or road don't matter, bro.
And this defense is great, and it can keep the game close. It can allow you the offense to have opportunities to get the job done. The offense can move the ball, generally speaking. But at the end of the day, if you have those turnovers, you can lose to anybody at this current moment in time.
No matter where you playing, here or there, it don't matter.
Stop turning the ball over, bro. Turn the ball over, it don't matter.
That's why I said stop taking chances, bro.
You left out of that game last night, turning over the ball, penalties, drop balls, whatever, lack of execution on offense. And with about a minute and some change still left to go, you still had a chance.
Every time all of our losses we play like that, we still have a chance to win the game. Defense, bro.
And I'm saying like that, and that to me is why I'm not losing faith in them, bro. Like you still had an opportunity. You did all of that, and it took everything from the Eagles to still beat you.
Facts.
You know, that is a definition, bro. And y'all can't kill me for this. That's the definition of a championship team, bro. You're gonna have to come with everything you can to get us off the field. You know,
Still not gonna be enough.
and it still might not be enough. You know,
Here's my thing, bro.
It is.
Here's
what
my
it is.
part
thing.
I agree with this. I think that we've given away the games. I think that we've given because the Eagles last night they didn't play a good game. In
We
my
dominated
opinion.
them. We dominated them on both sides of the
Their
ball.
defense,
Yeah,
their
they didn't do
defense-
anything special for real.
Nobody does anything special for us. It's us. We stop ourselves.
But that's my point. It's not like the
Hey,
Eagles
man,
played.
your daddy, man.
The Eagles got the Eagles got destroyed around the entire day. They panicked and had to blitz to try and hope and create something, and they still left a whole bunch of wide receivers open down the field, and we just didn't convert. On offense, they couldn't move the ball outside of occasional DeAndre Swift screens and a lucky, down the field throw to Devontae Smith. I shouldn't say lucky, but it was
that wouldn't look.
it wasn't luck. It was a good play, but it was also because
ran by him.
the offense had let down the defense so often. They didn't have a choice but to be incredibly aggressive, and that led to what obviously he was able to get behind on Mike Edwards. So I don't think the Eagles played well. I think we just
We dominated them, bro. They didn't.
Bro, at one point in the third quarter, we held Jalen Hurts to 69 yards passing. That's it, dog.
Bro, at one point they were like 0 for 5 on third down. We were literally locking them up every chance we got. We got back-to-back sacks multiple times.
CJ, we won every single stat category except the turnover ratio.
That's the
bro.
biggest one. That's
it,
one.
dog.
That's why I
That
said,
is
bro,
really
that interception, that's why like I'm mad at MVS for those. But MVS is MVS. He should never do that. But that's who he is. I hold Travis and Pat to a higher standard. Stop turning the ball over in the freaking red zone. That's 14 points you gave away right there. Pat, if you don't like it, if it's close, throw it up and throw it away. Trav, you know they're going to punch the ball out. 2 hands, get down. That's 14 points. If we score 24 more, the game's over. We're not having this conversation right now. I expect my leaders to be better when the moments require their must. That's what I expected out of those two, and they let us down yesterday. But I know they'll bounce back because that's just who these guys are. But we have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot in the red zone. That's my biggest frustration.
Scrub. Jalen Hurts hit 150 right on the nose, man.
Right really, half of that don't count because you got it off a chunk play. So half of that.
Go ahead,
yeah, but go ahead, Bug.
I'm with y'all with them turnovers, and I do think that is one of the biggest things.
14
that
points,
not
bro.
Scoring in the second half, 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter this season. That to me is the biggest thing we need to fix, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's 1 touchdown all year in the fourth quarter. Like that don't even sound like a real stat, man.
Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, it's just again, it feels like these things happen at the wrong time. So like, it feels like the turnovers are just happening in the second half, and that's continuing to shoot ourselves in the foot. It feels like the random drive stalls due to penalties just feel like it's happening a little bit in the second half, more so than the first half. And then also, obviously, it feels like we just get a little bit more vanilla. Sometimes we just get up on teams and then be like, okay, we're good. Take over for it.
No, absolutely not.
Manny. See,
hey, Manny on that buzz. Hey, Manny, what you got, Manny?
You did too much for the day.
Hey, Manny. Hey, Manny.
But no.
Hey, Manny.
The only fix for this is in-house, bro.
I think we should just ask if Antonio Brown wants to play football again and just see.
Good Lord.
If you go get Deshaun Jackson, I mean, damn, man.
I saw Deshaun Jackson on Twitter talking about I would have made that cash. I said, come on.
Well, he wouldn't have made it that because his hamstring would have blew up.
He would have found a fumble before. He would have found a way to fumble before.
His hamstring would have blew up. He wouldn't have made it that past the 50. Like,
Hey, Quinn, you may be right. They may not quit turning the ball over, and they may lose as a result. That is completely understandable.
That's very feasible, bro.
Them turnovers, I do think it's funny that we talk about Josh Allen about all his turnovers, and Mahomes and Lamar Jackson is right there with turnovers with him, man.
I was saying that this year, but the elite quarterbacks have not been playing elite football this year.
They're playing elite football. Turnovers happen when you're a great quarterback.
It's the amount of turnovers, D-Mac. You're going to turn the ball. Double-digit turnovers and
turnovers happen. They happen. It's a very thing.
They do, but just like when you're holding Mahomes to a different standard. That's what they're doing. That's all.
Be an elite quarterback, you are going to turn the football over. That is because you are putting the ball in harm's way and making elite throws. Most of the time, those throws are going to work out in your favor, and that's why you have guys that are high touchdown producers continuing to put up good numbers. But some of those times they're not because it's just variance. Sometimes you get a little bit unlucky. Josh Allen is having an unlucky year from his turnover standpoint. Dak Prescott last year was having an unlucky year from a
Bingo.
standpoint. It was an outlier for how their turnovers
That's
go.
what I'm saying.
The-
That's what I'm saying.
The
Quarterbacks are
media
going to
doesn't
have
cover
high
them the
turnovers.
same, though, D-Mac.
The-
If you just listen to the media, you would think Josh Allen got 20 turnovers and
Oh,
Mahomes got 10.
I completely agree with you. Josh Allen.
I mean, does he not lead the league in turnovers?
And
I'm not saying he doesn't, Chuck. I'm saying Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes is right behind him, like right there behind him.
Yeah, they are.
The narrative
They are.
around it is absolutely different. I completely agree with you because and people like to pile on Josh Allen and Josh Allen by no means is a perfect quarterback. I have my criticisms of it, but it is excessive in the ways that people talk about his turnovers. The same way it was excessive the way people talked about Dak's turnovers last year because it was a complete outlier for him.
Half of them weren't even on him anyway. And that's the thing with turnover. It's not the amount of turn. Like people are gonna turn the ball over. Is that when you have a high usage rate, especially when you're throwing the ball more than you're running it. I think it's the amount. Like people never want to see Patrick Mahomes have 10 plus interceptions. I think that should never happen in the offense. Like because I think half of interceptions are on the receivers with drops and making bad decisions. A lot of them can be on him and say, hey, I shouldn't make this throw. But like you said, you don't ever want to tell a quarterback to not be himself. But that's the evil you take with it. If you're going to be aggressive, you're going to put the ball in harm's way. But to Bug's point, if you know this group is not like that, maybe you shouldn't be putting the ball in harm's way as much. And I know people hate to say that. I don't want them to play scared. It's not playing scared. It's leaning on your defense. Like that throw, the interception in the red zone. I can make this throw, but should I try to make this throw right now or should I just take the 3? 3 doesn't hurt us right here at this point. In other situations, I would love for Pat to be aggressive. This isn't the group for me to say I don't want you to be ultra aggressive all the time. Just because if you turn the ball over, we're not able to recover from that like we once were. We could do that in the past. We just can't do it this year with this group. So I don't mind him taking his foot off the glass in certain scenarios. Foot off the gas.
CJ, you just made my point though, CJ. You just
There's
made my
nothing
point
wrong with that. Nothing
earlier.
wrong with just leaning on your defense. Nothing wrong with that.
The only
And running
thing
game too.
The only
Just made
thing
my
I'll
point
say,
there though.
They were blitzing hella heavy though. So yeah.
My fault,
it's
D-Mac. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. It's difficult to toggle in and out of that aggressive mind state all the way back to the conservative mind state. And there are times in which Holmes is completely on where he can do that, and because he's at the lead of a player, where he gets into the rhythm where he can complete, like he sees everything, he's in rhythm. He hits the checkdowns on time. He can still go down the field when he wants to. He hits the intermediates. Everything is within his bag. But asking him to play that perfect level of a game should not be necessary for this team to function. And unfortunately, where this offense is right now, he can't afford to dial it back and be a conservative game manager. They need him to be excellent for this offense to function. So it's going to have to be, you're just going to have to take the bad with the good at this current moment in time. That's the only way you're going to put up points.
Yep. And KL, I agree with you, dog. 90%, man. Look, Travis Kelce's the guy, but man, yeah, that was
the lack of Noah Gray during the game was kind of disappointing. I won't lie.
Then they stopped using them.
Especially given the linebacker situation for Philadelphia, like they didn't even really try to get in heavy personnel sets. I didn't love that aspect of it. Obviously, I wouldn't. The first half was the first half, and the second half it probably wouldn't have mattered much. But I was kind of surprised with that they didn't do that much. To be honest.
Yeah, and Scrub, I want to comment on that, Scrub, what Scrub said, because I feel like these coaches getting paid to stay in character, it feels like, man. Honestly, bro. I'm not even going to hold you, dog, because he makes a great point. All these quarterbacks are down and not playing up to the level we're used to seeing. It's because defenses have adjusted. They have adjusted for one. And two, you're not leaning on your running game just enough to give the quarterbacks, make it easier on the quarterbacks to make throws.
Let's go. Sorry, go ahead, Boogie.
My fault. I think that also goes with what Brady said. Did you see Brady with Stephen A? It's just a lot of bad football right now, period.
Yes, it is.
I really believe that.
It is. Tom Brady's right.
I disagree to a certain extent, but that's a larger conversation. I'll get to that after. The reality of the situation is when you talk about the leaning on the defense and the run game, and especially when it comes to elite quarterbacks, a lot of these quarterbacks don't have a defensive run game to lean on. The Chargers can't run the fucking football, and they ain't got a defense. What are they supposed to do? The Bills have never been able to run the football, and their entire defense got hurt. What are they supposed to do?
My only quote with the offense is, I understand we want to get into these notions where we would like to use our play action game out of it. I'll go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and look, people are mad because Trevor Lawrence has low touchdown numbers. Well, guess what? He's leading on the run game and the defense, so you criticizing him for it. So you damn
They wilding. They
Lamar Jackson, yes.
Same thing, Lamar Jackson. Gus Edwards has 10 rushing touchdowns. All the other running backs have 5 rushing touchdowns. That's why Lamar doesn't have many passing touchdowns. They literally go old school when they get in the red zone and run the damn football. And it works.
Agenda.
It works. Oh, it's agenda?
No.
Maybe it's because I'm watching. Maybe it's because I'm
And it
actually
works.
watching the game, bro.
I'm
So, but okay. Agenda.
My
All
only
right.
quote with the offense is, fellas, like, I understand we want to get into these moments where we run the ball in third and short and we get into our single back formations or our 11 personnel. I get that. But when you see the confusion that 12 personnel is giving the defense,
That's not moving me.
point, you should stay in that, in my opinion. And like I will say this to the day I die. Run fakes from under center are 10 times more effective than a run fake from the gun. Fake and my quarterback coach in college always told me this: a fake in the gun is pointless. It does nothing. It doesn't show any kind of incentive because you're not really giving any kind of influence to getting the ball downhill because you can see the fake in front of me with the ball with the back on my hip. When I'm under center and I can fake, the quarterback is turning his back to the defense because you don't know what he's doing. I could hand it off. I could be throwing it. We could do a reverse. It could be a fly motion. There's so many options and variants you have off of running the ball under center. It gives the defense illusion because you can't see everything when the quarterback's under center like you can when they're in a gun. So if you are going to play action the football, Andy, please get under the center. It works. And I know you've seen it because you do it when you want to when you use that screen game. So just do the same thing when you want to throw those deep over, those corner holes and those shots. Just do it from under center because it puts pressure on the defense, especially when you're running the ball for 6 yards of carry. It's very simple.
Yeah, I do wonder, though, because obviously they ran a lot of bare fronts at a certain point in the game, if maybe the heavy personnel usage was to avoid them getting into those looks, because obviously they're a very difficult team to deal with out of those looks because of how much interior defensive lineman they have. And Milton Williams was spectacular all day. Like he's like their third best interior defensive lineman, but he's still amazing. Somebody made the point about offenses, so the Brady point about football being trash. I think that specifically for this year, because the scoring is down, people are like, oh, the offensive football is bad. And I'm not saying any of you guys are saying it for that reason, but it's because defense have adjusted. As Chuck said, they are ready for what has happened for the offensive explosion the last few years, and that's why now things are shifting as far as that's concerned. And it's resulting in defenses having the upper hand on offenses this year, and that's all it really is. As far as the overall product, I don't think it's bad compared to years past or like decades past. Decades old football looks so simple compared to what they're running now. It's just the reality of the evolution of the game. Now, you can have certain issues with the ways in which they teach tackling, things of that nature. I think that's probably fair, especially with technique and blocking things because they obviously limited practice time. So that you can criticize, I certainly agree with. But the complexity and schemes and things of that nature, I can't really get with it being a worse brand of football because I think that the schematic kind of chess match is a lot better.
It's only the yardage. Like yardage wise,
one of y'all
quarterbacks
mic chopping.
Yeah, was it me? Was it me?
Is it me? Is it mine?
Somebody got an echo.
It might be you, Chuck.
All right. Let me go back.
I don't hear it now, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like from a yardage standpoint, teams are moving the ball flawlessly. That's not the issue. It's the scoring touchdowns that people are not accustomed to. Because if you look at all the yardages for any of the quarterbacks, for Mahomes, Pat, Josh Allen, moving the ball has never been an issue. They're just not finishing drives with touchdowns and points, which makes fans give them that quote to believe like, oh, offenses are down. Like they're not down. They're just not finishing drives. And that's been our issue too. And we're not the only ones in the league that's not doing that. So people are used to the offensive explosion. And like we said this a couple of years ago, fellas, like eventually – you're not going to put up 30 points every game, every year. Eventually, defense is going to catch up. Eventually, they're going to make adjustments. Like it is what it's football natural regression. You're not going to be dominant every single year. Eventually, you're going to have a down year because the other side of the ball gets paid to make plays too. They're going to do things while they're adjusting. Now, how do you counter that is the thing that I'm interested to see towards the last 4 or 5 games of the season into the playoffs. What do offensive coordinators do now that you know what defenses are doing to you? So that's the biggest part of the season. How do you always counter to a counter? Because that's all football is. So.
And then this is why I hate and look again. There's some things that he has gotten wrong. I want to be very clear when I say this. I'm not saying that he's perfect by any means, but a lot of the Veach slander is so dumb to me because it's a fundamental misunderstanding of how difficult it is to build a football team and how you're not going to get every.
That conversation is pointless, bro. You might as well stop that.
But like that's the first part. The second part is literally you've seen the defenses evolve this year to play at such a high level. He was ahead of the curve.
Facts.
In trading Tyreek Hill and Chuck.
You in the shower?
Chuck,
Mhm.
that was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened. All right, but nope, whatever you just did, that was not good.
Go back.
So he was ahead of the curve. He trading Tyreek Hill, rebuilding this defense in the ways that he did from every single level. He was ahead of the curve. And there are very legitimate criticisms of Brett Veach. I'm not disagreeing with that, specifically right now as it pertains to the wide receiver room. But as far as the team building and maintaining the championship level team, he legitimately was ahead of the curve.
Facts. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do from the GM.
Nobody's going to give him credit for because everybody wants to talk about the wide receiver room.
Because they want to have a perfect roster. Most people don't
Y'all
want
don't
your
think
roster.
Veach get credit for drafting the defense?
It don't matter, Bud, because we don't have a perfect
It
roster.
don't matter
That's
because
why.
y'all
It
we
don't
didn't
matter,
sign
Bud.
D-Hop.
You have holes. You made
You could have
mistakes.
said me, DG. You could have said me.
I'm just saying that's
Hey,
the-
don't add him. Add
I
him,
wouldn't
DG.
even
He's
say
right
people-
there.
I
That's-
haven't heard it. I haven't
that's-
heard people talking about how incredible it's been for him to have gone through this entire 5-year span with Patrick Mahomes, starting in 2018, being able to shift into the defense of 2019, then after 2020 failure, being able to rebuild the offensive line, then after the 2021 failure, shifting into a defensive mindset to be able to reinvest in the team. Is it me or is it Chuck? I can't tell.
It's tough.
Chuck.
Am I still echoing, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
This is
Bad.
Go back to your old phone. But no, like from a GM
I haven't
standpoint,
seen people really give him credit for that. That's just me personally. Now, look, maybe my timeline is just negative. It certainly could be. I just haven't seen that aspect being praised enough.
I hear more criticism for the offense more so than praise for the defense, like UD Mac. And I've been trying to be on this train of like, I understand people want to never have holes in a roster. That's not ideal. You can go across any roster in the league, they have holes. Now, some holes will be more glaring than others, but to D-Mac's point, and I tell everybody this, and I think people forget, we had the most wins in a 5-year span in NFL history. Nobody's done that. We literally went to the 5 AFC Championship games, 3 Super Bowls. We had an NFL record for that time period. So were there flaws and were there misses? Naturally, every GM has misses. But for you to be like so overbearing on the mistakes and not praising him for the things he did right lets me know you really don't know how hard it is, one, to make a team. 2, do you really like watching football? And 3, do you really pay attention to other rosters around the league? Because we complain about things that we want for our roster to improve, and other fans tell me every week, fellas, like y'all complain way too much for the winning y'all doing. And it's a balance. You want to have perspective at the same time, on top of the fact when you're having success. But perspective is everything. Have we done everything right? Absolutely not. Have we done a lot of things good? Yes. So, I don't know what you be doing, bro, but you be hating. No, cut that.
Chuck killing me.
DJ Envy, cut that, bro. We ain't doing that. Watch out, bro. Watch out.
I
Watch
feel
out.
like
Yes,
Vince
go
got
ahead,
his credit when he rebuilt the offensive line. We heard. Matter of fact, we still hear about it all year when they was trying to re-sign Chris Jones. Everybody kept saying, "No, we got to repay this offensive line he drafted." He gets his credit, but right now we have to talk about the 32nd ranked receiving group in the league.
Absolutely.
You bragged and with good. I'm not saying it's not
It's twofold.
good for you to brag. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good for you to say we traded Tyreek, because what did we get? We did get the first round pick to get McDuffie to help us change that defense, but you traded him, and now you have the worst receiving core in the league.
Twofold.
He didn't do a good job replacing him. We done had 2 drafts. We all like Rice, but I mean, you done had 2 drafts to get us something that we shouldn't have the 30.
But did we expect the receiver room to be fixed in 2 drafts? Just a question. I know I didn't. I said it was never going to be fixed in 2. I said he get at least 4 to see what he was going to really do to build this draft.
Damn.
Give a rookie receiver class and the next one their full rookie contracts to see what he can do. But I didn't expect the receiver room to be fixed this year.
This goes back to what I've continued to say, though, and why, and the reality of what this team is right now. The wide receiver core isn't different from last year. It's the same
one.
guys.
Same one.
Guys. You just happened this year so far. You have had 2 of your veterans completely regress, and the young guy that you were expecting to step up has not yet. And then you continue to baby the rookie who you should be replacing Juju, but that's a different
No
conversation.
different. No different.
So if
at
you
all.
if the wide receiver core was 32nd ranked last year, which is I don't think that's true because Juju was here and he was producing a lot better.
Exactly.
Then it shouldn't be this trash this year. It's because it's the same guys. It is literally the same guys.
It's the usage, man. They're using them in the wrong scenario.
You seen 8 weeks of your receiving core. Everybody regressed. We all admitted that, and you lost your best receiver from last year.
Mhm.
You didn't do anything to change that. How is that not on Veach?
Go ahead, DJ.
It take two to dance, bro. You know, like I can make so many calls around the league and ask these people who's available, who's there, or whatever. It take two to do business, bro. Like and that's what I'm saying. You don't know on the inside who's calling, who's accepting what offers, where the offer is
picking
at.
up the phone. They see
I know people wanted Mike Evans or somebody at the deadline, but at that point in time, the Buccaneers may be thinking we still got a shot to get into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
And then win this division. Like, why would we trade one of our best receivers to you? You know,
understandable. But let me rewind then. And me and D-Mac have talked about this before. I'm not even saying these receivers are going to be 1,000-yard receivers. But even in the offseason, you knew going into the season that you was putting your faith into. Your number one receiver is an injury-prone player that's never played 12 games in the season. You came into the offseason saying he was going to be your number one receiver.
I can't believe people really believe that.
But off top,
but that is what you said. To be fair,
they did say it. They did say it.
To be fair,
also, this offseason, before we even got to get there, all we kept hearing from Albert Breer was all the receiver free agents are hitting up Patrick Mahomes. Right?
Right.
They could hit him up, but that Vito, he done packed over for the money.
So what? Who was that on?
But even in that, even in that market wasn't even that great.
And that's what I said first, DG. I said that first. Because me and D-Mac can talk about it. You saying cool right now.
Yeah, I think you're good.
I had to restart my phone.
Yeah. There you go. We back.
But DG, like you said right now, I mean, me and D-Mac had this conversation. He was saying that, and I'm not saying it's not, I don't agree with it. But you telling me none of those guys are better than Justin Watson for 10?
I think believe
Jacoby Myers absolutely is. I think
I said Jacoby Myers could have been on the team, bro. I said this last summer.
And look, I was wrong because I thought the motherfuckers washed. Adam Thielen, he's obviously better than a lot of the wide receivers that you have in house right now. So I completely agree with you, Buggy. Brett Veach did miss as far as some of the wide receiver acquisitions that he did this year. But it's not like that all of a sudden there was $20 million that he was spending out there on the wide receiver. This back again.
Now we back.
Yeah. Oh no, wait.
They probably are. They probably are.
The Chiefs are listening to us.
But it's
Veach, we sorry, bro.
It's an allocation of resources, is what I always say, because the money that you save in a wide receiver room goes and gets you Drew Tranquil and Mike Edwards.
The money you spent on Jawan Taylor, you could have spent on Chris Jones, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a right.
Yeah, but you needed a tackle.
Don't do that.
But we did. But you don't want Wanya Morris out there, Boog.
I would rather have Jawan Taylor than Andrew Wiley.
You want to bring Wiley back? Did you want Wiley back? Answer my question.
You want me
no,
to
you didn't. No, you didn't.
You asked me the question.
Did you want Wiley back?
Go ahead,
if you telling me right now Wiley would be your starter and I'm keeping Chris Jones over signing Jawan,
so what did Wiley get? Wiley got paid what, $30 million for 3 years?
Deal. I think he got 10 years each.
It was
only a 2-year deal. I believe.
It was like a 2-year, $12 million deal.
You was willing, but were you willing to give him that kind of money after the performance you seen last season?
Hell no.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I give it to Jawan.
If you telling me I'm keeping Chris Jones, I'm taking Wiley and Chris Jones over Jawan Taylor.
Chris Jones is still here with Jawan Taylor
this year.
Oh, he meant like long
term.
term.
Chris Jones leaves next year. I'm telling you, I would have took Wiley.
Well, the Chris Jones deal can still get done. So, but I think that's more of like his agency.
Boogie, I think that we can certainly revisit the conversation.
Yeah, that can still get done for sure.
That is concerned. I will tell you guys right now, this is something that I'm coming around on. I think you should just tag and trade Chris Jones regardless at the end of the season.
Oh, man, yeah, it's time.
That's just me.
You got to get the most value right now. If you decide to do so,
I don't like D-Mac attitude. Right
Bro,
I
honestly,
That's
Hold on, bro.
That's that tell the truth.
the ways
man,
in which
honestly,
they
like,
have the ways in which they've adjusted this defense accordingly, it is going to take a hit when you obviously move him off. You have to invest again in the defensive line. I think that for the long-term health of this team, it would make a lot of sense because there's an overhaul of this wide receiver room that needs to happen, and you need assets to do so. They are limited as far as assets are concerned. Chris Jones can net you a lot of assets, a lot of cap space, and for you to move forward and continue to invest in this team. That's just me.
honestly, a few people say that today, and certain
there's
sheets
multiple
that
ways to
stop
fix the
in
roster. Yeah.
saying that we need to
Now,
pay Chris Jones.
if you think Snead can net you more a similar level of assets, and you prefer to keep Chris Jones and tag and trade Snead instead, I can listen to that argument.
I think
too.
that's more the logical situation because of the fact that they know how much Veach finds value in DBs. I think that's more of a reality more so than moving Chris. Even though I agree with you, Chris holds more value in a trade standpoint, but for this team, I think Veach is like I could replace Snead easier than I can replace Chris right now at this point. So. But I feel you on the Chris point. I understand.
And that's perfect. And actually, there is a legitimate argument because of how volatile coverage tends to be that if you wanted to capitalize and cash in on Snead, then go ahead.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too. But somebody mentioned now, like if we trade Chris Jones, we have enough capital to get to keep Bolden, keep McDuffie, Snead, and Willie Gay. But it's like this defense really ain't what it is without 95 in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So
do we keep all these players?
That's what, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's what make me feel some type of way when y'all get to naming off respectfully Willie Gay, Creed. You know we didn't have these arguments already, D-Mac. Creed, Trey Smith, bro. None of them was better than Chris Jones.
I wouldn't put Trey or Willie Gay into that kind of list. Because I don't think Trey is going to make that much money. Creed, I do think is a cornerstone player.
Who the hell said move Creed? Who said that? Who told you that, bro?
No. I'm saying those players are the next big players up.
Oh, to get paid.
Right.
Oh, well, Creed's getting paid.
Yeah,
eliminate Creed getting money. Y'all can stop that.
Well, we got to pay Nick Bolden. We got to pay Willie Gay. We got to pay Trey Smith. And I'm like, Chris Jones is better than all these players.
Yeah. No, I will not disagree
but
with that.
But he's getting older than all of those players.
He is. How many sacks he had yesterday?
3.
I understand that, but
yeah, too.
With age comes time, bro. Like, and you have to, in order for you seen it, especially on this defensive side of the ball. In order to keep this window open, you had to get younger. You had to bring younger guys in here. In order to keep that window open and for you to be competitive, you had to do that. You had to get faster. You had to get younger.
Okay. Yep. So now, because we got one of the youngest teams in the NFL, so we don't need to get younger now. Right?
You're not wrong to an extent.
We already top 3 youngest right now.
So then
I get what you're saying, though. I understand what you're saying for that Super Bowl team, but I'm saying right now we got one of the youngest defenses in the league. Chris Jones is like our only 30-year-old player. Him and Travis Kelce. How much younger do we got to get?
I get that, and I'm all for them bringing him back. But I'm saying if you want to D-Mac's point, if you want the best value out of that, who are you gonna trade?
I mean, if it comes down between trading like Chris and Snead, in my opinion, I think they'll probably end up moving Snead. That's just how I feel. But
but it sounds like they're more likely to keep Snead at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Like the reports have been saying they're gonna keep before the season. Like me and D-Mac were saying this last. They yelled at us. I'm like, we were telling them like, bro, they may end up moving Snead.
But
how well the DBs are progressing.
Boogie, I will say this very clearly. If Brett Veach feels that he can overhaul this wide receiver room and still get things checked off as far as his offseason checklist is concerned to keeping, this roster relatively intact, and obviously you're going to lose some guys, but, replacing them accordingly, and still keeping Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed, by all means do it. I'm saying that may be a very difficult proposition, and I'd understand why one of those guys would have to go and moving forward with this team.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we are talking about the defense, let's go ahead and transition to the defense and how awesome it is so far.
I'm still cutting Justin Reed.
Why are you saying obvious things?
D-Mac want to get straight to Justin.
Like, bro, like, okay, Chuck, you said like Chuck's like we're moving off from MVS. Duh, D-Mac, we're moving up from Justin Reed. Duh. Y'all saying things we already know. Like y'all not saying no new information.
Oh,
If we
Like,
gonna
bro,
move
we
on
already
from
know
all
this.
these
Like, come
people,
on, bro.
why
Like,
do we have
let's
to
move
move
forward.
away from Chris
My
Jones?
bad.
Why?
I'm on my
Nobody's.
I'm on my DG.
I don't want to. I don't want to get rid
I'm
of
on my
Chris Jones.
DG now.
It may be necessary. I don't
Where my
want to.
headphones at?
It's amazing.
But yeah, Jody, we only got 5 picks next year. For now.
So far, for now.
Yeah,
I don't want. For me, I don't want them to move on from Chris Jones. I would love to see him get paid and still be a cornerstone piece of this.
Chris Jones still top 2, bro. I don't know what y'all doing.
But if it boils down just like the Tyreek Hill deal, and you're gonna get the best value for what you can get out of him, make the trade, bro. Do what it takes for you to keep your window open. And if you really feel and believe that you can replace that, then do it. Whether that's Snead or CJ, either one. You know, I just want them to do what they feel is best for them to keep this window open and for you to have the opportunity to win championships.
He's not playing bad.
He's not.
No, Justin Reed's playing solid football, but like for the amount of money he gets back, you're not going to extend him at like that, bro. He's about to move on. So
yeah, not at all.
But the only thing that gives us grace is like this class for receiver wise is better than last year's in my opinion, and it's deeper. So there's multiple areas where you can improve that room without having to allocate so much of your free agency money towards it.
Oh.
Now, if a guy does come available, I would like for them to be aggressive, but like we've seen in the past, outside of an AJ Brown rumor, we've never really been ultra aggressive in his free agency period for receiver wise. And we've only had an opportunity for 2 summers because Tyreek's only been gone for 2 years.
So we have a question for you, CJ.
Sure.
If we do move on from Chris Jones, who's the draft replacement?
Oh yeah,
Who would replace? I mean, I could give you some names, but it wouldn't be nothing exciting. There are people anybody would know. As far as like from a draft perspective, it wouldn't do anything. So.
The Texas,
there's no replacing Chris Jones, bro.
Great.
No.
There's no replacing Chris Jones.
I mean, of course, that talent, no.
Yeah, that you can get multiple guys to come in here and be productive as a unit, but from a Chris Jones standpoint, he's a Hall of Famer, bro. There's no replacing Hall of Fame type guy.
Maybe 3.
So this is my last thing about this Chris Jones. Stop, Quinn.
Watch your mouth, Quinn. Watch your mouth.
Quinn,
Relax.
come on, Quinn.
Quinn, relax. Relax, bro. God,
dip on our chip now. Hold
he's
on.
an all pro, Tony. What you just say?
Go ahead, buddy.
But my thing is, okay, y'all just said this about these draft picks. So y'all talking about drafting a receiver in the first round and going to go spend.
Who's that first round?
Okay.
I'll draft
another second and third round receiver to add to this shit.
I think that there's a much better chance that there's a first round wide receiver at 30, 31, or 32 than there is a first round.
You're gonna have options. You're gonna have
looking
options.
in that trash, man.
I'm cool with that.
Looking at the trash.
But I think that the whole conversation about going down and training for T. Higgins, that shit not gonna happen, dog.
Hold on,
Stop bringing that up, bro. We didn't say that. Somebody else. Somebody said we didn't say that.
And the whole wide receiver free agent list, most of those guys gonna stay.
They ain't leaving.
Mike Evans is gonna stay in Tampa Bay, dog.
He gonna retire a buck.
And I want him to stay there. I don't want him here. No,
you don't want nobody here.
They're not going anywhere.
No, it's not true. Not true.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop talking about Joe Tooney like that, bro. Relax.
Yeah, Quinn, you wildin', bro.
Quinn,
you
drinking?
Too,
Quinn, stop drinking, bro.
Man.
Put that cup down.
I mean,
man,
maybe.
we gotta quit. We gotta stop. You know what? Just like we did with the cornerbacks. This whole time they said Beach don't draft corners in the first round. As soon as he drafted one in the first round, what we get?
Trent.
Quit trying to get these 7th round guys and guys that got cut. Go get a dog.
But here's the thing, though.
I'm so glad you said that because there's been the whole stupid ass. Oh, Andy Reid doesn't really develop wide receivers. Hey guys, guess what? You don't develop wide receivers. Motherfuckers are good, and then they play well for you. They don't develop wide receivers. They just play well because they're really talented. That's what happens. Okay, it's not that you got to develop wide receivers. You don't teach a guy how to know how to go. How to turn a DB around.
People are getting drunk off that Tyreek Hill debate, D man. Like, we did it with Tyreek. You're not going to develop guys like Tyreek Hill every single year. Get a guy who's already established. That Tyreek Hill shit, those are anomalies. Those don't happen every year. You don't see guys turn into Tyreek Hill every freaking time. He was already good.
McCole wasn't a receiver all through college.
He was a DB.
No, he was a DB.
He was a DB.
Scott Moore wasn't a receiver all through college either, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was a quarterback in high school.
When he got to Western Michigan, he played receiver.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you got to go get a receiver, man.
That's somebody
A
that's already
bona
proven
fide
it.
receiver.
Yes, you do need to go get a receiver, a guy that's been playing wide receiver since he was
And
12.
somebody who can
Yes.
play outside the numbers, for the
Yes.
love of God, please.
Yeah, you need an X.
And I got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of them, so don't
Yes.
tell me they're not in
Yes,
this freaking
DT.
draft, because I got a whole list of them.
Yes. And
But-
draft two of them. Draft two of them.
I don't
Draft
care.
one.
I'm
Draft
with it.
one,
And
day
the
one,
thing
day
is, like,
two,
yo,
draft
there's a lot of
one, day
receivers
three.
who have first round grades, in my opinion, you can get on day 2. Because all these receivers can't go day 1. Everybody
Guess
can't
what?
get drafted.
There better be roster spots open on this team at wide receiver, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
There better be some open spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Marvin Harrison Jr. Not
Manny
Let
keeps
Manny,
saying
let
that.
Manny
That's
have his
the-
fun.
Hey,
man.
man,
Look,
Don't mind,
Manny
don't
has
mind
his
Manny.
fun,
Don't
dog.
mind Manny.
Manny
Manny
always
is
has
our
his
resident
fun.
happy Chief fan.
I love that.
Yeah, let them do what he do, man.
That's just Manny.
But anyway,
I would, because CJ's gonna have his list. My personal opinion, I think that Jalen Polk is a nice guy that is realistically within target range. That dude, and obviously Rome is the guy that's gonna get all the buff from
I
Washington.
think ain't Polk a sophomore? D-Bag, or am I tripping?
No, he's a senior.
Polk Jr.? Okay. I thought it was Buck. My bad.
Polk is a senior. He plays outside the numbers. He goes up against the ball. He has a good contested catch rate, and he actually has tempo to run on a consistent basis. He's not going to be a short guy. But we don't need short guys. They already got Tony. They already got Rasheed
We
Rice.
got those.
And they can throw Sky in there because God knows he's going to be on this team next year. So
Facts.
they need somebody that's going to be outside the numbers and have juice deep and that will actually catch the ball. And that's exactly what Polk can do. And he should be in range for us, in my personal opinion. So that's a guy for me. Well, one of the guys, because like CJ said, there's a lot of options as far as
I'll give you a name to go look at, Paul. Tez Walker out of North Carolina. A true X who can play outside the numbers. I'm telling you, bro. I don't need an amazing, like Marvin Harris is the dream scenario, like what Manny's saying. Other guys like Rome Odunze, Keon Coleman, those guys are going top 15. We're not touching those because we're not going to.
I don't know what's beyond a dream scenario, but he's like beyond that.
In my opinion, I feel like there's a lot of guys like Troy Frank is another guy I think that would be in there in that scenario as well. So guys that can play outside the numbers that can obviously go down the field, and they're all above 6 feet tall, respectfully.
Yes,
I got one.
Polk is 6 feet, 204. That motherfucker, real wide receiver.
I'm cool with Polk too. I like him too.
I got one you can get in the later rounds.
you about to say
Adonai-
somebody for Texas, aren't you?
Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, I knew it.
89,
I knew you
yeah.
were gonna say somebody
Adonai
for Texas.
Mitchell
I knew it.
is definitely a receiver you can go get in the later rounds. They can play outside the numbers.
DG, they don't want to hear later rounds, bro. They want a dog.
I understand that,
But
I'm
AD is good though. AD is good though.
I
You can't
like
really
good
take
red
the-
zone target,
Sorry.
good hands, runs good routes, got excellent speed. Can play outside the numbers. He's 6'4". I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You know?
but like, does Andy Reid really like
Like-
tall receivers in his offense though? I really don't think he likes super tall wide receivers in his offense.
But like
bro.
to like
If
Bruce's
he has a
point,
6'4",
eventually you got to break your
like
own
tall
mold.
receiver.
Eventually you got to get
Man.
out of it. Eventually.
Look who you just said.
He's giving us.
They gave
He's
him that
giving the
what you
6'4"
just
wide
said, man.
receiver a majority of the snaps. He's clearly not adverse to that.
They
That's
talk
not
about
right.
in,
No
they talk about in the
vertical.
draft. D-Mac, you
No
signed a
vertical,
6'4" receiver
no
to play
hands.
6 feet.
Come on, man. He
He's 6'4". He don't play like
He don't play like he's 6'4".
he don't play
That's
like.
my point. If you're not adverse to getting a wide receiver that can't jump and won't go up and get the ball that's 6'4", why would you be adverse to getting one that actually can jump and go up and get the ball? Why would that be the reason not to go get it? He clearly doesn't care about height. He's got no problem with it.
Jody, stop. You from here?
And as far as tight ends, this class isn't as good as last year's. But JT Sanders, JT Sanders needs to be a chief, bro. I don't care what we got to do. I know we may not be all on the same page as far as receiver. We all like JT Sanders. And if you don't, you just don't like football. I know he's not the best blocker. He's a really good athlete. But for this offense, you put JT Sanders with Noah Gray and Travis, it's like 12 personnel, 13 personnel is back, in my opinion. I want him on this team. If we're getting a tight end, if they don't decide to go receiver, go give me JT, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
I didn't want to say nothing.
I really like a lot. I really do like Kate Stover out of Iowa State. He's a little bit more of the
He
inline.
got a knee brace
positional
on,
guy.
D-Mac. He got a knee brace on.
Gronk played with a knee, elbow, and foot.
But
brace.
not earlier in the career, not out of Arizona, but in the beginning, and you're right.
He'll be fine.
But Kate Stover is nice, though. It's just the knee
also
brace gets me. But he can play, though. You're right.
The tight end from Florida State as well. I like it as well.
Yeah,
There are some,
number 3. What's his name? Ben? I forgot his name.
I think it's Bell. I think
Bell.
it's-
Yeah, Bell. Yep. I like him, too. Kind of
So
undersized.
there are some tight ends, and look, you need some juice in that tight end room. A guy that can run down the seam, run some corners, and I like Noah Gray, and he still can do those sorts of things. But you do need that because right now Blake Bell is unplayable.
Probably not.
He's just
Probably
unplayable.
not.
Probably not. I thought he was done last year, respectfully.
He was done 2 years ago, but
I mean, I was giving him some grace, but D-Mac would be mean.
I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is.
Destiny Zay.
This ain't. I mean, I like that. That's my. I mean, Jody, my dog. But I mean, like, he's hurt. He'd be hurt, bro. You can't sign guys who aren't available. So that's the name of the game, bro. When you're on the field, you can play. If you ain't on the field, don't matter.
Sailed on Jody.
That's facts, bro.
You gotta stay on the field, bro. Gotta stay on the field. And he know that.
Jody's like 28 years old, man.
That's what I'm saying. Jody know that. He ain't stupid, bro. He ain't no rookie. He know how this goes.
That's what it is. At
You know how
this
this
point.
goes. Like,
I love Jody, man, but it is what it
it's
is.
business, bro. You know how this goes. We ain't stupid.
To Jody's I think that's Jody's. To her question, I have we have no answer for that.
He wasn't in the game plan. He wasn't in the game plan.
You have that. That's a coaching decision. Like,
Yep, that's on the coaches, man.
yeah, ask them.
But
I didn't get a chance to look at our splits as far as the formations were concerned, and how much we actually did end up in personnel. Because, like you guys said, I mean, Noah Gray just didn't seem like he was a part of the game in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
He was during the first two drives, and they just said we're just going to stop running 12 personnel. And like they countered it. It's like, all right, they're running 12 personnel, so let's run more under fronts, put more 5-man flight fronts to put more people on the line of scrimmage to get them out of that. So we try to counter, like, all right, we're going to go 11 personnel. We're going to throw a football. And that played in the Phillies' hands, but they're saying, we think your receivers can't win you this game. And to our point, we're saying the ball should have been in more of the running back and the tight end's hands, because those are more of our better players right now. And eventually, Andy's going to have to say, even if you counter this, we're still going to figure out ways to move the ball, even with 12 personnel, because there's still ways you can use your double sets, your triples, your bunch sets, even with Noah being on the field. Noah snaps have to go up. We've all been saying that for weeks. And, like, he has to figure out a way to play more, because he's one of your best reliable pass catchers, and he's one of your best overall players because he can block and let alone catch the ball as well. So,
So I'll illustrate the point here, and I'll say, oh, sorry, go ahead, DG. If you're going to make a point, go ahead.
No, I was gonna make a point about Sky, but like it can wait. Go ahead.
yeah.
No, so I'm gonna see if I can actually do this effectively. This is going to be fun. You're gonna watch me try and figure this out live. See if we can pull this up real quick.
all right, do what you do, brother.
All right, can you see it? All right, you can.
Mhm.
Good. Shout out to Hefe. He's actually really good. I think he works for KCSN as well. So he breaks down as far as the formations based in what the EPA is. So like the Chiefs in their 12 personnel sets, they actually had a negative 0.18 EPA per play. So it wasn't good, obviously, when they actually played it. I was surprised that it was actually, we ran it for 25 snaps. It didn't feel like it, but it was bad. And the reason why it's bad is because they usually match it with a 3-3-5, and obviously we didn't perform well as far as that was concerned, or their base sets or they had their bare fronts, which obviously we didn't perform well either. So that's the reason why a lot of the heavy personnel sets weren't a part of the game plan, because they're very good when they're able to do those sorts of things.
Yep.
It's always correlation.
They countered it. They basically said, we started off the two drives doing a lot of it. Then they said, hey, let's put more guys up front to get them out of it and make us go back to our 11 personnel. So they did what they're supposed to do. Just got to make the plays.
Oh. Yeah, probably still investigating that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he did get I remember that. He did.
KO, there is a reason why they didn't fight that hard for Justin Ross. And it has nothing to do about them having knowledge about the situation either. Just going to be frank about it.
Yeah. But yeah, just before I wrap this up real quick, I mean, we didn't really get to the defense, but shout out to the defense, man. Yes. Like, the only thing that the thing is, like, they got tired in the second half because we kept going 3 and out, man. I mean, eventually they was gonna break some, you know what I'm saying? But they did a good job at least getting a stop for our offense to get one more chance to try to win it. We just didn't get it done. But if anybody has anything negative to say about the defense, man, you guys just need to watch any more football, bro. Yeah, just don't.
Definitely, because AJ Brown was in a jail cell.
Yes. He did absolutely nothing.
Alcatraz, stop playing with me. Add him to that hit list. That list we put up.
He going
he
up.
adding to the list.
1 catch for 8 yards. Yeah, you're going up there, buddy.
They had 100 yards combined together. Yeah, they like that.
It's like
Stop
it's
playing.
like Swift did his thing, but like overall, we held them in check, bro.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that big bomb play, he would only have like what 50 yards on the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, not worried
And
about that. They like that.
you'll hear people on the Snead interception be like, "Oh, he got beat off the line of scrimmage. He was going deep." What Troy Aikman said on the podcast, and I refuse to give Troy Aikman credit on what this. I don't know if that's me or
It's Chuck.
okay.
Am I going again?
Yeah. I don't like to give Troy Aikman any credit, but he said it right. When you're facing an all-out blitz, which the Chiefs face, L'Jarius Sneed knows to play underneath because they're not going to throw the ball deep in it with enough time to. He's playing the underneath route because he's got to get the ball out quickly, and he jumped it accordingly. So that's what L'Jarius Sneed was able to do to force that turnover. He was great all day. He was incredibly physical with A.J. Brown, and obviously it worked. So you can't ask for anything more. And the defense was great. I mean, this was an excellent offensive line as far as the Eagles were concerned. They did not allow them to run the ball all over them. They didn't. They were physical. You got to give that front seven credit. And honestly, Willie Gay actually probably had the worst game out of the linebackers, which is saying something because he was still very good, but he missed tackles. Drew Tranquil was good. Leo Chanel played excellent. Nadi showed up. Matt Dickerson had a good game. Chris Jones was himself.
Whoa, say that again. Say that again.
That Dickerson.
No. One mic on D-Mac. Say that again, please.
Matt Dickerson had a good game.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you. Okay, good job.
And you know, Karlaftis and Dana were doing their thing as well. And Minihue, he got caught on a few of those end rounds, and that's just going to happen. He's not a good run defender, but he was still very good as far as rushing the passer. This defense showed up and played extremely well. And people are going to be like, "Oh, well, they gave up the long pass to Devonta Smith." I'm like, "Come on, guys, y'all got to understand that there's a difficult like." When your offense continues to give the ball back to a very good team and the defense just can't hold up for the entire time. And even then, they adjust the way that they play him. They have to get more aggressive, and that's what allows Devonta Smith to get over the top like that. So the defense was spectacular. I could not have asked for a better effort from them. And truthfully, they should not have needed to stop them in that last
one touchdown in the second half. Win you the game.
This offense should have put this game away in the third quarter easily.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Those two red zone turnovers are that's 14 points, bro. 14 points we gave away.
14 points. The Justin Watson drop, the home slight overthrow to Travis Kelce as well for another conversion that ended the drive. Obviously, the 4th and 4 punt, which is like the only Andy Reid thing you could probably criticize him for. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality situation that the offense should have put this game away a long time ago. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't hang in there and shut them down even longer.
Got to figure out a way to get in the end zone, man. You're right there. Got to finish.
Yeah.
And all that being said, it's still an MVS drop and Justin Watson.
It's always a crazy play at the end. Always.
At first, when the play happened, I was like, "Oh damn, that might have actually." He almost completed that, and then I saw the replay. I was like, "Of course, it went through his hands and hit Justin Watson in the helmet. Of course, it did. It had to. It just had to."
At least it's Raider week, and they playing good ball, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I ain't never had my phone echo this much in an episode ever, bro. I don't know.
Fix it.
Maybe yeah, right.
I want solutions.
I may need to fix that too, man. It's crazy.
I don't want excuses. I want
We gotta
solutions.
fix everything. Don't give me no rhetorical shit. Give me answers. I need answers.
I want solutions. Hey, super clip.
That was class.
We shall bounce back, fellas.
Yep. So let's go and get to our sponsor real quick. Get up out of here, man. Shout out to good people at Homage. NBA season today. 20% off the NBA gear. You know, fan of the NBA, fan of your favorite player. Get anything from there, you get 20% off shipping. So there's that.
They got LeBron shirts, Chuck.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, okay.
They do.
Then get him one for Christmas.
We gonna get Chuck.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm giving it to somebody else.
We gonna get Chuck one. We're gonna get
I'll
Chuck
give it to somebody else. But anyway, yeah. You got the Table Bowl collection going on. You got the NFL team essentials. You still got your starter pullovers. Still got those available. Christmas is coming up soon. You got the NFL Christmas themed stuff going on. And then you got your standard go-to collection. So go on Kipes and Gary, pay homage.
Pay homage.
Hey, that homage.
But yeah, it's on to the faders, man. And we got no choice but to bounce back. Hopefully, we get some points in the second half. Hopefully, because I'm really getting sick of seeing a donut.
Let's
every
turn it
week.
around, huh?
Legitimately the worst scoring team in the second half in the league. 5.3 points per game. The other teams in the last, I think it was 15 years that have been worse were the 0-16 Browns and the 0-16 Lions.
Nasty
Turn
work,
it
man.
around, huh?
It's just
Nowhere to go but up, fellas. Nowhere to go but up.
So yeah, what's y'all Thanksgiving plans though before we get up out of here, man?
Chill at the fam's house and watch games and eat food.
Cooking up these parlays.
You dig? Cashing out, you dig?
I'm crying. Why you say it like that?
And
Yeah,
despite the loss, I hate it. I did make some money yesterday. I did cash in some of my bets that I put out to everybody. But if we would have won, I would have made so much more. So
Yeah.
I would have made more money too if we had scored points in the second half like we should have.
so much more.
Because I had over on our first half
Thanks,
total. I had over on the third quarter total between both teams. So I should have cashed on both of that and had Kansas City Chiefs money line. Obviously didn't get that one. But I made money on college basketball, so I was overall positive for the day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, and if you speaking of
That's
cash
cap.
out bets, cash
That's
out
cap.
bets and stuff.
She should be paying us.
That's cap. I don't know what she's talking about. That's cap. What?
CJ,
She owes us a pizza.
Bro, we ain't got it, bro.
But yeah, if you took the Chiefs team total under in the second half the past 3 weeks, then yeah, you definitely cashed out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
Are you kidding me? That was money. That's up there with Mac Jones' interception every single week.
Take it every week the way we playing now.
Yeah,
Easy money.
but with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all your social media platforms. Till the next episode. Everybody enjoy Thanksgiving with your families.
Happy holidays, man.
Eat your ham and be happy. Eat your food.
Yep, we out of here, y'all.
Get some turkey.
Good luck on your parlays.
Yep, fried turkey at that.
Mm.
Okay.